Majors traffic, Cessna 61326 is at the south ramp, taxi active.
Good. All right. And of course the active is going to be 17. Feet off the brakes. Got flat spots on the tires. Rubber has a property of moving away from pressure, so it flattens out. Now, okay, there we go. Good. Now, if that horizon gets unlevel, if it starts dipping one way or the other, use your ailerons to try to level it off. Steer with your feet, because this is doing, steering wise, this is doing you absolutely no good. It's just keeping the airplane level. This is a good speed to taxi with. Taxi, what makes you feel comfortable? Now then, when we head north, you're going to put that aileron down, because then that wind will go up over the aileron and spoil lift. As you taxi, if you notice your vision narrowing, and your peripheral vision lessens, that means you're going a little faster than you can. You're behind the airplane. So what you need to do is slow down. Slow down, and your vision. You'll see your vision widen out. Your peripheral vision will improve. Good job. Okay, now keep that over there, just like that. Unless you see the horizon getting unlevel. Good. This is a good speed. Because with this wind, if you taxi too fast, it can tip us over. This isn't quite enough wind to do that, but now, by the same token, since the wind is on takeoff will be from our left, you're going to hold the control wheel in the same position until we break ground. Once we get off the ground, the airplane will tip over to the left, so then you can level the airplane. Give it aileron rudder to level it. Doing a good job with the taxi.
Got all the special planes hidden today.
Well, they've got them hidden from the hail. We're going to have thunderstorms the rest of the week, according to the Weather Channel. So they've got. You don't see anything out there that could be hailed on at all.
Got that one under cover.
Yeah, they've got 2 shade hangars are occupied, and that's the only airplanes you can see. It's pretty good. When I first came to work out here, they had so many airplanes parked out here you couldn't stir them with a stick. And they were all, the few that were in hangar 110 there, 102 there, were the only things that were protected. I got out here the April 6th. I came to work out here. Of course, at that time there was only 4 bays in that Hangar 102. Now that it's grown to 10. And today, since there's nobody else flying, we can just turn and point down that old closed runway there. Just turn right. Turn right. Add a little throttle and give it a little left rudder to stop the turn. Alrighty, that's it. We can stop right here. Now we've got equal pressure on the rudders because our nose gear is centered.
Okay. Got the parking brake set. You can leave your window open.
Thank you. It would be hot in here, but
yeah. Okay, we're gonna check the flight controls. They are free and correct. Trim is at takeoff. Fuel selector valve is on. Lean to max power. And throttle to 1700. Check the magnetos. And a drop. Back. Another drop. Back up. Engine instruments and ammeter. Oh, and car feet. Drop. Oil pressure's in the green, temps in the green. Got suction, ammeter's charging. Got suction.
Suction's reading 5.2 inches of mercury. And the recommended range is between 4.5 and 5.5 inches of mercury.
Okay. Set the radios, we're on the tower, and we're going to set the instruments. Okay, 1001, 1002, 1003. What got going on here?
We'll have to let him warm up. He's not warm up actually, but it's getting old. The jewels are getting dirty on that that unit, so it takes a while for the gyros to come up. So just go ahead and we're VFR anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Go ahead and set this to 530, and by the time we're airborne for a couple of minutes, it'll be attitude indicator will be coming up.
Okay. We did the flight instruments. We can go to altitude. Got VFR in. I got the friction lock set, and flaps are up. ready to make our call?
No. We're going to
turn.
do our turn first.
Okay. Over there. Nothing on downwind. Nothing on left base. No one on right base. No one on right downwind. And no one on right crosswind.
Okay, now we're ready to make our call.
Okay. Majors traffic, Cessna 61326 is at hotel, taking off runway 17 VFR southeast.
Excellent.
One last downwind check, final.
Okay, now we're heading into the wind, so turn this into the wind. There we go. Good.
We got that.
Okay, and put a little back pressure on it so the nose comes up a little bit, and give her full throttle. Pull up. Good job. Good job. Level the wings. A little more crab to the left. There we go. Keep the ball centered. Don't move this unless you're going to move the corresponding rudder. If you move this to the left, use left rudder. If you move it to the right, use right rudder. There we go. Good job. Good job. So you look like a pro taking off there.
Thank you. I guess that's the end goal.
Absolutely. Part of being, the parts of being a good pilot is you must have a good story or reason or lie for everything that you do, and you must look cool.
Yep.
If you don't look cool and you can't lie real good, you're not a good pilot.
There's 1,000 feet.
Okay, now you can turn loose the throttle and turn towards Lake Tawak.
Maintain 70 on the climb out.
Exactly. What that does for us is, we could do 80 or 90 if we were going cross country, but what maintaining 70 does for us is it gets us up to 2,500 feet quicker, and so we can start training quicker. Actually, you can start training right now by keeping the wings level. Use aileron and rudder to keep that horizon level, keep the wings equal to the horizon. Good job.
just went through 1,500. 1,000 to go. So approximately how many hours do you need before you can solo?
There is no approximate.
Depends on the person?
It depends on the person, yeah. That one guy's 73 years old, and he's probably rolling over 60 hours, and he hasn't soloed yet. But in fairness to him, he's having a little difficulty with the FAA because he had a heart attack a few years back.
Oh, yeah?
And they're having a little dispute over his medical, whether he can have one or not.
Where do you go around here to get a FAA medical?
I usually send people to Dr. Freed, but he's over in Dallas on Midway Road, and
I can't remember the guy's name, but I was looking at one. I think he's in Frisco.
Well, there's one in Rockwall. There's one over at Arrow Country.
Oh, yeah?
On the other side of McKinney. And so there's
2,500.
There's a bunch of them. There used to be, we used to have 2 or 3 here in Greenville. Now the one at the VA clinic moved to Austin, so he's out of the picture. But there's Dr. Peter Gray. I think he's still practicing, and he's an examiner. So the only trouble with some of those guys is they're still practicing medicine, and so the scheduling is pretty difficult sometimes. If you needed one tomorrow, you'd go to Dr. Freed, because all he does is, he considers it part-time because all he does is flight physicals. All right, bring your throttle back to 2,400. And due to the parallax of you sitting on the other side, it's not going to be that easy to do accurately. That's pretty close right there. Okay, is your locking ring down tight? Yep, okay. All right, let's fly out just a little bit further, and then we'll do some turns and to warm up, and some straight ahead power off stalls, and then first we'll do slow flight. Slow flight's a little more difficult than the stalls actually, because it requires some finesse with the throttle. You've got to slow down and maintain altitude at the same time, and maintain heading and all that stuff, and so it's a little more difficult. So we'll do the slow flight first. We'll get around to the stall series. Still looks pretty good. Yep. A lot better than it did a couple summers ago. Oh, yeah, yeah.
we used to be able to pull our sailboats right down onto the beach and just launch off, but we can't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, you could now, couldn't you?
Finding the beach is hard now. The water's everywhere.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Well,
yeah, we could just pull off 2 Mile Bridge and go right down there and go right out.
Yeah.
Now we got to find a boat ramp. Some of the bass fishermen don't like us getting in their way.
Public lake.
Yeah.
Like it or lump it. Okay, let's do a standard rate turn to the left. Our current heading is 130. Look at the scenery in front of us.
Okay.
And so that as we come around, as the nose swings around this way, you can spot that scenery and plan your rollout.
And standard is between the second and third?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's between the first and second mark. These two little marks, between the two of those. And we're going to roll out on a heading of 130.
Okay, looks like we're clear left.
Good. Now notice how the nose appears to come up. It appears to rise when you roll over. Mm-hmm. And that's because you're sitting on that side of the airplane. But you want to just hold the maintain level pitch. You can find something on the windshield that's right above the control wheel shaft, and keep that that's on the horizon when you're level, and just keep that on the horizon as you turn, and it'll solve that problem. Now you're slowly climbing, and we're going to bust our 100 feet here. If you need to go ahead and correct and get back down to 2600. There we go. A little steep. There we are. Now you're pulling up again. Pulling up again. All right. Let's do one to the right.
Descend a little bit.
Pull the nose up, way up.
Right, we're clear right.
Okay. A little steep. Right there. Now normally I would expect you to be pulling the nose up here because it gives you the appearance of being lower. But you're doing a good job on this one. let's do a medium turn to the left, and that medium turn, of course, is 30 degrees of bank, that first large mark. Put this guy over on that first large mark.
To the left?
Clear to the left.
Okay, clear left.
Gonna have to pull a little tiny bit of back pressure on this turn, because the nose is going to want to go down. Good. Okay.
Clear right.
Huh? You're losing altitude now. Very good. All right, this next one will require a little bit more back pressure. Steep turn to the left, and that's halfway between the 30 and the 60. Yes.
Clear left.
Good. That was very good use of the rudder. But, good use of the rudder. Need a little more back pressure because you're just about to bust your altitude on the low side. Good. Good job.
Clear right.
Need to anticipate that extra weight and start pulling your back pressure as you roll in. That way you won't lose that altitude. Okay, go ahead and roll out right here. Okay, now we're going to do slow flight. Introduction to stalls. What we want to do is maintain 2,500 feet and pull out your carb heat, bring your throttle back to about 1,800. down 10 degrees flat. Good. Okay, now we'll maintain 2,500 feet, and we're going to slow down to about 55 to 60. So that means we're going to have to bring in some power to maintain that. Okay, bring in a little power, just enough to maintain that. We don't want to lose altitude because it takes a lot of power to gain it back. Then we'll be jockeying the throttle back and forth. Okay, now, at this point we want to stop moving this control wheel. All we want to do is hold the elevator up to maintain our altitude. We want to steer with the rudder now. We'll maintain, we're doing what, 105 degrees. We're going to maintain that 105 degrees with the rudder. Losing altitude. Stop moving the control wheel. Other than to move the elevator. Stop moving the control wheel. Do it with your rudder. Alright, I want to make a turn to the left, 10-degree banking turn to the left with the rudder only.
Clear left.
Okay, 10-degree banking turn. Center of the ball. Gonna have to keep that rudder moving, maintain that 10 degrees bank. Alright, level the airplane. Okay, 10 degrees bank to the right.
Clear right.
Keep that rudder moving to maintain that bank angle. Good job. Alright. Level. Okay. And recover. Car beat in, throttle in, throttle full in, or take it into 2400, and pitch down, flaps up. Good job, good job. Alright. Alright, that's a passing grade on the check ride right there. Okay, now let's do a straight ahead power off stall. No flaps.
No.
Car beat on, throttle to idle. Bring your nose up, car beat, throttle back. Bring your nose up, pull up a little bit more. Now, as the airplane slows down and nose tries to drop, you keep pulling back. Walking the rudders, not using the ailerons, walking the rudders. Pull up, pull up. There you go. There's your stall. Good. Good job. Always take that throttle full in. You know, don't throw it in so fast that it chokes the engine down, but take it right on in. Don't hesitate. Very good.
What's the tolerance for altitude loss on the check ride?
Minimum loss of altitude.
Minimum, okay.
Could be 20 feet, could be 200. Main thing is he wants to see you don't panic and you have good control, and you're calm and collected and all that, and that you can keep the airplane upright. All right, let's do another one.
RP, throttle back.
Okay, now this time, bring your nose up. Sorry to zoom a little bit. Keep your hand on the throttle, thumb out for the carb heat. This time when you feel the airframe shudder, I want you to correct. Good. Bring your nose up. You lost about 20 feet there. That is what I want you to do in the pattern. If you happen to stall in the pattern, that's the ticket right there. Okay. Now we're going to set up into a landing configuration. Okay. Let's turn back to do a 180 back to the west. Clear left. Okay, you're gaining altitude big time. Okay, let's get back down to 2,500. And turn towards the airport. That'll keep us over the main body of the lake. Bring your throttle back. Bring your throttle back quite a bit. Let's get down to 2,500. Because we're gonna gain some altitude in this next exercise. All right, throttle back to 2,400. Okay, now I'm gonna demonstrate this one. Okay. I want you to stay on the controls with me, and so you can kind of feel what I'm doing. Okay. All right, this simulates a downwind to base turn. When we get to the 17 starts underneath the wingtip, we're going to pull the carb heat on. We're going to pull the throttle back to 1,700 RPM. And we're going to put down 10 degrees of flap. Measures traffic, 326 at left base 17. So, we're 30 degrees of bank, and we get distracted, and we're pulling the nose up. Now we're maintaining. Okay, that's as far over as it's going to go. Okay.
That's an interesting feeling.
Yeah. It's about the most fun you're going to have without doing spins. Now that's what happens. You'd have to get awfully distracted, but people do.
Yep.
And they die.
Yep.
So that's why they want you to practice this. So at first, I just want you to do one. I demonstrated that one to show you that the plane is not going to roll upside down.
Okay.
As long as you keep it stalled, it's going to just hang there. All right, you do one for me.
Okay. So
carb heat, throttle 1,700. There we go. 10 degrees flap. All right. There now. We're gonna do a turn, 30-degree banking turn. We're gonna pull the nose up, and we're gonna prevent it from rolling steeper with the right rudder. Prevent it from rolling to pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Okay. Now correct. No, do not do that. Do not do that. Stick forward. Leave the roll alone. Let the airplane fly. Correct with the rudder.
okay.
Let's see. Even if you don't correct with the rudder, I mean, with anything. When that stick goes forward, see, I didn't do anything but just shove the stick forward. The airplane rights itself.
Okay.
If if you turn this in the opposite direction of the roll, there's a good chance you could create a spin. Because you're lifting that aileron, you're dropping this down in the breeze, and it's creating drag.
Okay.
And so if it creates drag, then it can pull that wing to the arm to the right and start a spin.
Okay.
So you're probably not ready to see that spin yet.
Nope.
And you don't have to, you can request a demonstration, but that's all you have to do before you throttle back to 2400. Put your nose down a little bit. Now remember, that's all you have to do. All you have to do is move this forward. You don't have to try to steer out of it.
Okay.
You absolutely don't want to steer out of it.
Got it.
All right, give it a shot. Car beat on. Throttle 1700 RPM. 1700. 10 degrees flap. Roll left 30 degrees of bank. Okay. Maintain, use right rudder to keep it at 30. Right rudder to keep it 30. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Stick forward, not quite that violent. And, because you're using a lot of unnecessary, losing a lot of unnecessary altitude. But that was good. And actually, all you have to do is release the elevator about that much.
Okay.
Just so the airplane can fly. That's all it cares about. If it can fly, you saw a while ago that it would right itself.
Yep.
Now, this is the first few times you've seen it, so you need some experience looking at that, and understanding that will happen. I have some people that want to jump out of the airplane.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another one.
Okay. Barb?
Incidentally, you've shown improvement each time we've done these, so take heart in that.
I like to think I'm a pretty quick learner.
You are. Okay. Definitely are. Okay.
Okay. 30.
30. Keep pulling the nose up. Maintain 30 degrees with the rudder, with the right rudder. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Right rudder. You backed off the control wheel, or
yeah.
You backed off the elevator, and you turned right. That's in error. Okay, now, rudder only, rudder only, rudder only. Get it in there, get it in there. There we go. Stick forward. Remember what I said about the throttle, all the way in.
All the way, okay.
All the way in for the recovery. Okay, now, let's pull the throttle back a little bit so it happens quicker, but we're going to do a departure stall. Now the same thing is going to happen, only less of it, because we've got full power on. So 10-degree banking turn to the left, hold the nose up about like this, use your rudder to maintain 10 degrees of bank. And just keep easing the nose up just slightly. And you don't have to even mess with the throttle. Stick forward, rudder, and there we are. Alright, this cloud keeps wanting to mess with us. Let's move back to the north.
Wait, left.
And let's see. Point towards the airport.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we've done all the stall series. Next time out, we'll do everything we've done today, plus we'll do an emergency approach to a grass runway. Okay. The grass runway is right over yonder. It's called Weiss International. Not because it's an international airport, because Chuck Weiss, that's the name of Chuck Weiss's company, Weiss International. He flies, he can fly, you can rent him and he can fly your airplane worldwide. Has the experience to do so.
What kind of planes does he have out there?
I think all he's got is his dad's old Bonanza and a Luscombe and a Cessna Bird Dog.
My Scoutmaster has a Luscombe.
Say again?
My Scoutmaster has a Luscombe for Boy Scouts.
That would be Glenn Murphy?
No.
Oh. Who's?
Greg Barber. He's over at Arrow Country.
Oh, I see.
He's actually having his engine overhauled right now.
I thought you were from Roanoke.
Now,
where did I get that?
I used to live there, and I was part of that scout troop, but when I moved to Farmersville, I've joined the Farmersville troop now.
Aha.
Yeah, Spanky did some time in the Air Force. He was a SR-71 pilot.
Really?
Got some neat stories.
Oh, I'm sure. That gentleman I was talking to introduced me to his son a while ago, while you were pre-flighting. He's an Air Force test pilot. He's flown the SR-71, and he has a lot of time in the U-2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, he was flying over Cuba taking pictures of the Cuban missile crisis.
That's neat.
Back in '62. Yeah, he's got a bunch of stories too. I mean, every airplane I bring up, and unless you got the time, you don't want to mention anything in the Air Force inventory. Up to the latest version of the F-22, because he's got time in all of them, and he's got a story about all of them. Because he's what?
Got the strip down there with a little Quonset hut?
No. That's just a barn.
Oh.
See that over there? That strip that in the trees that looks like down south looks like a banjo. That's grass farm over there. The strip is just the side of the grass farm.
With the pond?
Yes.
Okay.
The rectangular pond is about middle ways of the runway.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it.
That's the one we'll use. It's 5,000 foot long, 5,200 foot long, in fact. Okay, we're coming to the end of the Sabine Inlet, so you're going to call Major's Traffic, Cessna 61326, 5 miles southeast for landing.
Major's Traffic, Cessna 61326 is 5 miles southeast inbound for landing.
Very good, very good. Okay. Bring the throttle back a little bit, by about 2,100, something like that. Then let the nose down. Lake looks good. Now see, the wind's blowing us. We're pointed, right now we're pointed towards the multi-sensor, which is that group of buildings down there, and the wind's blowing us to the left.
Crab a little bit?
Yeah, crab a little bit so that those buildings don't move left or right. If they move left, we got too much crab. If they don't move right, we don't have enough. Okay, let your nose down. We'd like for those buildings not to move appear to be moving underneath the airplane. Pull on your carb heat just for the heck of it. We've got a lot of moisture available in the air today.
Better safe than dead.
Absolutely. Well, we lost power here. We could just glide. We could just do a downwind landing. Which in today's case, the wind being out of the east like it is, there wouldn't be much of a downwind landing. It should be, basically we'd just be going in the other direction.
Yeah, crosswind.
Yes. Somehow we don't seem to be losing much altitude. Right here. Crab overlook. A little bit more to the left.
Halfway on the wing strut?
Yes, halfway on the left strut, and then whatever we see up. Yeah, that's getting pretty close. That's just about it. All right, turn right. See that group of buildings up there in the trees? I want to keep those from moving to the right.
Okay.
Okay, now thinking about what we're going to do when we get up to the 1.5, keep the wings level. Keep the wings level. Use your rudder. Use your rudder. You're just steering the car in there. Use your rudder in coordination. Okay, crab right. All right, there's the 1.7. Pull on the carb heat. Pull the throttle to 1700 RPM. Good, right there. Add a little more. Right there, 10 degrees flap. Good. All right, let's fly a little bit here on downwind. When that 1.7, where we pulled the carb heat, is 45 degrees past your left shoulder, or in other words, halfway between the wingtip and the tail, then we can turn base. You're going to call major traffic 326 is left base for 1.7.
Majors traffic, Cessna 326 is left base for 1.7.
Keep your nose down the turn, or we'll see one of those stalls. Okay, flaps down to 20 degrees. Okay, we got a tailwind, so this one's going to be fast. Alright, turn, final approach.
Majors traffic, Cessna 326 is turning final for 1.7. Full stop.
Okay, all the flap. Alright. Now let's crab until we get down a little closer. Looking good. Now when we get down there almost ready to flare, start bringing your throttle back. Stop that 1.7 from moving towards the airplane. When we crab, I want right rudder to line the nose up, make it look like we're going to roll down that center stripe, which is what we're shooting for. Right rudder, right rudder, right rudder. Push more right rudder, tilt left. More right rudder, more right rudder, all you can get. Okay, yeah, don't try to pull up too quick. Okay, now keep pulling, good job. Carb heat in, flaps up. Very good. You'll get those landings pretty quick. Flaps all the way up. They quit?
Yeah.
Okay, must have blown a fuse. Well, it looked all the way up to me.
This stuck.
That's okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, majors traffic. 326, clear the active, taxi to park. Very good flight, good flight. Look, made a lot of progress, got to look at a lot of new things, and you did well on them. I'm especially pleased with the pattern entry and the pattern and the landing. We will continue this. It's a good strong crosswind. I don't mention crosswinds much because that's what we always have here, and so it's just a landing, okay, basically. But when people start talking about, other people start talking about crosswind landings, well, that's what they're talking about. And you just tell them, well, this is just landing to me.
So headwind must be a piece of cake.
Headwind is your friend. It's and a good strong headwind, if it's straight down the runway, is really your friend, because the whole idea on the landings is to transition from flying to taxiing as slowly as at a slowly rate as possible. Okay. So if you can kind of hang it on the prop, so to speak, keep a little power on, get the nose up pretty high, and then just slowly let it touch down, and you'll be touching down a lot slower than you would be if you kept the speed up, and there's less chance of anything happening there.
So if you have a headwind, you'll have the same airspeed but a slower ground speed.
Correct.
Okay.
You'll always have 70 miles an hour, but as far as ground speed's concerned, you'll be touching down a lot slower. Whatever the wind meeting you, that subtracts from your airspeed.
Okay.
And so if you got 20 mile an hour headwind, well, you
got 50 mile an hour.
You'll be coming down at 50 miles an hour. If you got a 30 mile an hour headwind, you're only doing 40 as far as the ground's concerned. You know, like nowadays, you can get the wind direction and speed off the AWAS.
Yeah.
And knowing your speed, you can look at this chart and say, well, yeah, I can make this real easy. Now, the reason I said I don't know is because I landed in a 60 mile an hour crosswind one day to the north. We had a thunderstorm on the northeast. I'm going to try to park the same place we took off from. Okay. On the northeast corner of the airport. And so it was blowing 60 mile an hour at about 30 degrees. Wow. 030. And so what I did was let the wind drift me over to the left side of the runway.
Yeah.
And I crabbed into the wind and just landed across the runway like that.
That's a white knuckle landing.
Well, as I said in our briefing, I was just thinking about what I could do. You know, I wasn't really white knuckled. I was just working.
Okay.
You know? And that's what, you know, once you get a little experience, that's what you'll do. You know, you'll just be doing what is necessary to successfully complete the flight.
Okay.
That's pretty good right there.
Okay. Got the flaps up. RB cold. And we're ready to shut down. The transponder off.
Yes, all of radio, all of it.